All right, cool. So I got recording now.
All right, man. That's what's up. All right.
Holy crap. Well, shit.
Yeah.
My brother.
How you doing, my man?
It's cool. I'm kind of pumped though, like we were talking, because we've talked about doing podcasts before, so this is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to just kind of get out there, get your feet wet, and kind of see how it goes, and see what we got going here, man. But you have a nice little setup. It looks nice. Looks real nice.
Yeah. Besides sitting in the garage,
bro. I mean, hey, it is what it is. It's your garage, though.
True. Can't complain. Fucking A. Dude, it's interesting because I got like a fucking cat litter box, and then next to me I got the deep freezer.
Oh, your cat? Do your cats not go outside?
He goes outside, but like at night he still uses it.
Oh yeah, you little scaredy cat.
Yeah, he's inside at night, so it's like fuck.
No, I hear you. So okay, so let's fuck it, bro.
Dive right in.
What the fuck you think about Will Smith, man? I know you know what. I know you saw all of it.
Everybody's seen it.
Everybody has.
I don't know, dude. I didn't even know the Grammys. It's the Grammys, right? Or was it the Oscars?
It was one of them. I think it was Oscars.
I didn't even know that shit was on until somebody in my basketball league posted it in our chat.
No one watches it anymore.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit. It's a bunch of famous people rewarding each other. Like, who really cares?
Yeah, no one actually watched. It's not the way it used to be, like when we were kids, where all that shit was watched, all the MTVs and all that stuff. Like with, I don't know, I don't think you remember, but like Death Row and Bad Boy when they got into their stuff up there, and actually that was the Source Awards.
That was before my time.
Yeah, man, I don't know, man. I thought the whole thing was pretty damn corny, dude. Like,
do you think it was fake?
No. I think.
See, I thought it was fake at first. Like the initial time I watched it, I was like, that wasn't even a full on like follow through. Like he kind of half slapped him.
He cocked him.
But yeah, I watched it a few times. It was borderline like a right hook with the.
It's like one of those. It's like one of those slaps, that they do at those slapping contests where they don't actually slap you, where they hit you with their actual inside of their palm. You know what I mean? It's actually like a punch almost.
Yeah, borderline punch.
That's kind of what that whole thing was. But I don't know, man. Like, to me, the whole thing, like, he's been getting beat up by her through her videos and all that stuff for a while. You know what I mean? And then, sleeping with other people and being cool with it and all this other crap. And she talks about how she wishes like Tupac was her man. And it's like say grandma and grandpa, right? Like they don't agree with everything that each other does. Like grandpa's hunting. Whenever we would go out hunting, grandma would donate money to whatever cause we were hunting. You know what I mean? To kind of counteract what we were killing out there. And
she's like, you guys are killing some deer. I got to freaking do like a conservation effort for deer.
Yeah, I just think it's like one of those things. Like I always say, like I always wanted that kind of woman. You know what I mean? Like say like an old school kind of love where it's like, oh yeah, we don't do the same things, don't agree with the same things, but that's my husband. So what's up? And with their relationship, I feel like she wants him to be somebody else, and he knows that she wants him to be somebody else. And he just gets put on this spot, and he's like, you know what I mean? Like he's caught in like this middle ground. Like, what do I do here? And to me, I was just like, that's the moment where you play it off. And then if there is an issue, you go back and at home and you discuss it amongst each other and be like, all right, if that ever happens again, just know that I wasn't happy about it or something like that.
I think he was even laughing a little bit when
he was hella laughing.
There's a part where they kind of look at him, and I think he has at least a smirk, and then she's all serious.
Oh, he was laughing, and then when those cameras cut away, like she gave him that same look, like, "Come on, Pac,
yeah,
come on, Pac."
Tupac would murder him right now.
You know what I mean? So it's like it puts him in this weird function where he's kind of trying to be who he thinks she wants him to be too. And then at the same time, dude, like he's been beaten down, boo. Like how can I don't know, man.
Dude,
like,
when she's like, because that's like the video's coming back up when she said I was in an entanglement. It's like that's just a nice way to say you were fucking around and
that dude that she was with was August Alsina. That dude is like hell young, man. That dude's like younger than us. Yeah, he's some R&B artist.
Well, a lot of people are younger than you.
Fuck you. He had a couple good hits, you know what I mean? I guess he was living in their house and everything, and that's how it happened. But you know, whatever, man.
What?
I don't know. I just had to get that one off my chest because I thought that whole thing was corny. I thought he looked like a full. Yeah, he was so Wilson. I guess he invited the other dude into the house because he was falling on hard times, and then that's the shit that happened. And he called him like his nephew or something like that, or his son. Like it was almost like a family kind of thing. And then, pow!
Shit, hell reminds me of like the whole Scottie Pippen crap that was going on with with his wife and somebody.
Larissa Pippen. I forget who it was. Why do I want to? It wasn't that the coach from the Lakers, right?
Was it a coach? Yeah. I thought it was like a rapper or something. Maybe it's.
Oh, I'm thinking of Matt Barnes and his old teammate from the Lakers. It was Matt Barnes, and he ended up being the Lakers coach too. They had a beef because that dude got with his wife and ended up marrying her or something like that. Got with Matt Barnes' wife. Dang. Man, you'll know him when you see him. He was a bald-headed dude.
Derek Fisher?
Anyways. Yes. I
was like thinking, right when you said bald, I was like, well, shit, that limits it to like.
Yes. Derek Fisher and Matt Barnes. That's why they had beef, and they still have beef to this day. I mean, to my understanding, but I mean, I would too. I wouldn't be too happy about some shit like that.
That's kind of weird. It's like they're like.
Well, especially in that atmosphere, man. Like, come on, you can't tell me you can go down to a bar and find somebody else. You know what I mean? That you have no acquaintances with, no reservations, no relationship with other people that they know, nothing. Easy. Yeah. I just don't get it. Like if I was in that lifestyle, I'll tell you what, my man. There'd be a lot of non-disclosure agreements, just like that Dave Chappelle show. There'd be all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'd be living it up with people that aren't in the media. You know, why would you want to go that route? I think we're talking
about that kind of like when I was up there last time, and like Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, fuck, dude. How can you hate on the guy?
The life.
Yeah. If anything, he's smart as hell.
Hell yeah! Like mom was like, oh, you know, porn stars. Like, yeah.
What's he? Right. Late 20s, early 30s,
bro. If I was that young. Anywhere close to that age with that amount of money.
And he's a good looking dude to top it all off. So it's like.
Yeah, exactly.
In San Francisco, the Bay Area, California.
Yep. I mean, there's stripper clubs everywhere. And everywhere he goes, too. I mean, now he gets to go to Vegas, too, and play against the Raiders from time to time. You know, anybody who's just like, oh, sees Raiders on the schedule. And they're that single dude. That there's just like sparks going off in their eyes, like, oh, Vegas. All right.
Yeah. And then like how many chicks like know who he is, but don't even watch football. So
right.
Like people hate on him. I'm like, that guy's smart as hell. You're like,
yep.
Guess what happens? You end up like Blake Griffin freaking paying like millions of dollars and freaking child support or whatever it is that he pays. It's like I think he pays like millions of dollars, dude.
I don't like Blake Griffin anyways, man.
Whatever. But still, see, that's what you got.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you don't do stupid shit. You don't go around just knocking chicks up and having babies when you're making $30 million a year.
I mean, unless you're like, well, who was it? I want to say it was like Chad Ochocinco. You know. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was him that he had. Like they're asking him the ages of his kids or something like that in a game, and he was just rattling them off, and he forgot like half of them.
There's another guy. in the NFL that has like a shit ton of kids. I think it's like one of the Cromarties.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Antonio Cromartie.
Yeah, I think so.
Because there's like Dominique
so.
Cromartie, and then
there's Antonio Rogers Cromartie, and then like, right? Is that what it is? Antonio.
I think that one's Dominique Rogers Cromartie or something like that. And then there's Antonio that used to be like on the Chargers. That dude, I think he's one of those guys that has like fucking like 10 kids or something from like 5 different chicks.
It's just wild, man. Well, that's what I mean, bro. So
Josh
if you're going
Jacobs
that route,
like that. You see that Josh Jacobs story? The running back for the Raiders?
No.
He has like 8 kids, but like I think they're like all different baby mamas.
Dude, I'm telling you this. This is the other thing, dude.
Like, it's stupid.
If I was right, so yeah, it's stupid on so many fucking levels. So they could tie a knot around that shit and make sure you ain't making no babies. It's not. You can do it non-permanently.
Yeah, it's reversible, right?
Yeah. Wait, it is, right? Or is it only reversible for the female?
I don't know. I
well,
feel like
if it isn't, I'll tell you what. If it was,
we'll get some false information.
It would be on. I'd be practicing pullouts. I'd be on it.
I think it is reversible though.
I want to say it is because that's why the women always recommend that the guy gets it done is because it's reversible for the guy. I think.
I'm trying to remember what do you even call it? What's it called again?
Vasectomy.
Vasectomy. I don't know how you spell it.
VA. Type VAS or something, and I'm sure vasectomy will come up. Type man VA.
Oh, I almost had it right. I was so close. I had an E or an I instead of an E. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure it's reversible. I would think so. I actually saw an ad the other day that had birth control pills for men, bro.
That's the new thing I heard about that. And
it's a red pill too, like the Matrix. Like I'd be popping that thinking I'm going to see Neo at some point.
Not sure if I can share this because there's fucking nuts and dicks on here, but it says, in a vasectomy, reversal surgery is performed to recommend the vas deferens vas deferens. I guess that's what it's called. The part that gets sewn up after a previous vasectomy. Up to 6% of men, approximately 30,000. I guess you can do it. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, and especially with that money, bro, I'd be going into the team's doctor, and I'd be like, hey man, let's get this done like right now in the locker room. Like, let's get this over with. Like, I ain't trying to have a whole bunch of babies like with that kind of status, man. All it is problems. This is like Biggie and Puff always said, more money, more problems, baby. Yeah, I mean, who wants? I was just thinking, even what's that fucking dude's name? Jerry Jones recently too. It was like the same thing. Like,
I saw that.
The kid that came out like Woodworks. The kid that came out Woodworks.
Like Hefner, dude. I was like, I didn't know he was like that. I didn't know he was about that life. Like,
imagine being like the son that's heir to like the throne, basically, in their family. Owning the Cowboys. I'd be like, what the fuck is this bullshit? Can you know? There's just like the thought. You can't even contemplate it because it's such a drastic difference from what we've known and what we've understood our whole lives as far as coming up and, whether it be struggling, whatever you consider struggling or whatever the case is, people have different, definitions of struggle. But to me, man, like, I don't know. It's just such a drastic difference. Like when you see some of this stuff, like with these billionaires and which he is one of those guys, and you see the way that they live, it's like I can't even fathom like the day-to-day thought process of not having to worry about an electric bill, not having to worry about mortgage, not having to worry about if I get up on time to go to work. It doesn't matter. I am the work. People get up for me. Just. I don't know, man. Like I've tried to think about it from like all the time, and I can't fathom it. It's just such a drastic difference. But I think that's the other beauty of it all. I think that's why they do some of the shit they do. Like that's why you end up having a kid out fucking Woodlock like that. That comes, you pay off the mom and like, oh, shut up. Here's $5 million. Well, I got one step there. I got one kid out of wedlock, so
maybe the money's coming now.
Hey, I've thought that. I've joked about this before. I'm like, God, I probably have like kids and like just roaming the world somewhere. Like, that's horrible. I shouldn't put that information out, but I probably have.
You never know. You never know. I mean, you never know. I mean, a condom isn't even 100% effective, right?
Yeah.
But I want to say they are. I want to say, so here's another, okay, we'll go a little bit. Like, we're going to just keep breaking off on stuff. All right. So condoms, right? They say what, 99.9%?
Well, because they can't guarantee 100.
They can't, because it'll make them legally like responsible for it. Like, say if it ripped or something like that.
Yeah.
To me, I'll put money on it. If you got 10 million fucking condoms and ran them through some sort of test to see how effective they were, I bet you every million of them would pass. I bet you that thing is 100% effective. They just can't say it.
That's some bold claims.
I would say it's 100%. I mean, how can you, like, come on. Like,
the confidence. Like, damn, dude. That's
honestly though, bro. Like, if you put one of them on, like I know our lives have changed, and things have, families and whatever the case is. But when you went that route, like, I didn't have a damn worry about that, man.
That's true.
I just, there wasn't a single single worry. The only thing I was worried about is, what type of STDs you could still catch from still just touching skin to skin or whatever the case is. But
yeah, because your balls are just
still there, man. But hey, so 40-year-old virgin, right? He had it right. Remember that dude? He was trying to wrap him around his balls. He's like, does it go around the balls? Does it go around the balls?
Dude.
It's like, it should go around the balls.
For full protection, or at least for other STDs besides just getting pregnant, like ones you transfer through fluids and shit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Why not?
Now, the one thing, oh yeah, no, never mind. But yeah.
This podcast is going to get shut down before it even gets going.
Yeah, no. We'll try to keep it on the,
hey,
just talk. It's just talk. It's just having fun,
I'm down for
whatever comes to mind. And, people watch it. They watch it. If they don't, they can just, turn it off.
Yeah. Well, that's not the world we live in, though. That's not the world we live in. People rather complain about something than understand that they can just not tune in.
It's like inmates, man. It's like they must be so damn bored with their lives. Like, how bored can you be with your life that you're out trying to find problems to bring into your life? Like, by, coming up with, how long has Joe Rogan been around? For like 15 years on the podcast?
Oh, yeah.
You're telling me like a bunch of people went through all his videos and literally picked out every single time that he said that word. Get a job. Do something productive.
Maybe honestly. That is their job. Maybe that is their job, though. I mean,
and that's sad to me. And that's sad. That's a sad place to be. That's a very sad place to be. I mean, no one's protected. Like, everyone's a victim. Even if you were born on that golden yacht with Jerry Jones, you know what I mean? Like, those are the ones usually too that are the ones that are out there like, oh, well, I've never experienced struggle or, comparable to what other people call struggle. Like I said, it's all relatable, right? Everybody has their own struggles and what they think is real. Just like when you were like in 5th grade or 3rd grade or whatever the case is, every problem at that point seemed like it was going to be the hardest thing you had to deal with in your life, right? But as you get older, it changes. It's like, damn, I wish those were my problems.
Yeah, I think we actually talked about that one time. We talked about that. We're like, man, what does a kid have to stress about besides going to school? But fuck, what's stressful to them is not stressful to us. But yeah, it's in their world of things. Fucking.
Well, everything is right then and right now. Like, whatever's happening in that moment becomes priority. And as a kid, there's not much going on in that moment. So everything becomes that priority. Like homework. It's like, oh my God, I have an hour of homework today. It's like, man, I wanted to go ride my bike and shoot some hoop or, I got football practice or whatever the case is. It's just, and it all changes as you get older because you look back on it. You're just like, damn, I wasn't even that big of a problem. Like now I got to worry about going to work every day.
I know Dad used to bust my ass for not doing homework. Like, you gotta do your homework before you go out and play. It's like,
bro,
fuck. There's a funny story. So one time in junior high, Dad helped me with I think it was like algebra or something. Just some math, and I was like, okay, Dad deals with numbers every fucking day.
And it was probably way the fuck up.
Dude, I got an F. I ended up getting an F.
And that's not even when it was Common Core or whatever the hell the math is called these days.
I'm
like that was normal math back then.
How's this guy budgeting an entire fucking restaurant? How's this guy budgeting a restaurant? Can't even do some fucking algebra 1 shit. I remember because I think it was in 7th or 8th grade, and like we'd go over the problems in class. Like you'd hand your paper to like your neighbor, and they fucking grade it live.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing the answers that I erased. Like some of them are still kind of visible. I'm like, fuck, I had it right.
Right.
Dad would be like all confident. Oh no, this is how you do it. That's the only time he ever helped me with homework.
Man,
Never again.
Yeah.
Like shit.
It's like asking Dad to help you work on your car or something like that. It's just not going to work out. You're going to end up with a lot of extra parts.
Oh yeah.
You don't want that.
You're going to need like an oil change. He's going to show up with like windshield wipers or something.
Dude, so speaking of like Dad and speaking of Mom too, if we're throwing both in the hat here. It's getting hard to watch games with them, man. Like Olivia's games, it's getting hard.
Oh, do they get crazy?
They're getting older now, so that their voices aren't as quiet as they think they are. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean? They'll talk about someone that's walking around or something like that they don't like. Like, oh my God, I don't like. I'm just like Mom.
They're taking the people like. Cause I think it was like Mom. I want to say Megan. Like maybe Grandma used to do this, but like go to Modesto Mall way back in the day and like people watch.
Dude, that's fun though, bro.
It is.
I could do that all day.
But when you say now, like, because they're older and now they're people watching, but then they're also just gossiping or talking crap at the same time.
Yeah, and it's like a person sitting right next to them too. It's like, come on now. It's like they're not, and not everyone's deaf like Grandpa. Like people can hear you. People
like,
can hear you.
Beth. Fuck that girl, Beth. Oh, hey Beth. I didn't realize you're sitting right next to me. On these bleachers.
No, it's getting hard. It's getting difficult. It's getting a little bit different. Like I'll say that. It's funny though. Like I watch it and I laugh, but it's
like, are you guys watching the game? Are you guys even watching the game? It's like, are you guys even watching the game? You guys just talking shit?
Right. Well, I mean, and then their team is so good, dude. Like her softball team, they've mercied every team that they played so far. They've had 3 games, I think, and they mercied every team. So
what's
and, like once you get ahead by a certain amount. So if you're ahead by 10 or more runs by the 5th inning, game's over.
God.
So if you're ahead by like 15 by the 7th or something like that, or the 6th. I forget how it works, but I mean, they're stomping. I mean, it's fun to watch in a sense. It's also kind of boring to watch too, because it's just it's so I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, everybody wants to be part of that team, right? Everybody wants to be part of that team as you grow up. That's just smashing. But let's think about the stands a little bit. Like, let's let them get 1 hit, just so I can be like, I can still say your kid sucks, but yeah, they got a hit. Keep it a little entertainment. But one kid got hit in the face the other day, which was one of the highlights of the game.
Oh, that hurts.
She was fine, thankfully. Not to say like, oh, I want to see someone get hurt or anything like that, but
you're like, this little girl that got hit in the face by a ball. Thank God, because it was so.
The game stopped. Everybody ran around side and made sure everything was okay. It was a little
airlifted her off.
It was something to watch for a little bit. It was some entertainment.
They had to airlift her off because fucking face is all shattered.
Yeah. And then put a glass plate in, you know, all that kind of fun stuff. And, you know, she was okay, back on the game the next day, you know.
That shit does hurt.
No, she was fine. She was fine. She's got
hit in the face by baseball. That shit hurts, man.
And a garage door.
But baseball, this kind of like a side note. That's what gets me worried with like Hudson, because he's like very clumsy. Like he biffed it in the shower or in the bathtub last night. Like he stood up and just fell. I was like, oh fuck! I was like, definitely my kid. But like getting hit in the face with the baseball. My friend Jose brought up because he remembers we're playing. I wasn't playing with him, but it was like when I was playing actual baseball the one time. We're playing catch. It was like just warm ups. I think I stayed up hella late the night before, probably at your house, playing like video games.
Probably playing some Halo, talking shit to Yoshi.
Yeah, you know. And I threw the ball. We're probably like 20 yards apart, and I like just stopped. I just like stood there like this, and then right when I like came to, the ball was right here and just
too late.
Got me.
Yeah, that's a dinger. You know, honestly, dude, I would have rather had something like that happen. Like, I don't know if you remember, you were young, like super young, because I was young, and we went to a Modesto Nuts game, and I got out on the field during do you remember that? I got it. They brought me out on the field to catch some fly balls, like, you know, to win some prize or something stupid. Baseball's not my game. I mean, everybody I think knows that at this point.
It's harder than it looks.
Yeah, that was a disaster, bro. That was an absolute disaster. I mean, they're shooting these, you know, fly balls up, and to me, they're like going to the moon, man. Like, I don't play baseball. So then at that point, I was already strictly football and then street basketball. I didn't play, you know, competitive basketball like in a school or anything like that. I played, you know, pickup games where no blood, no foul kind of thing. And then they sent me out there with the glove, and dude, and then the worst part about it is that the away team was already out there on the outfield. So they're all talking shit to me. I'm just this kid. And they're just like, oh, go forward, go forward. I'm just like looking at this ball, like, I don't know where to go. Like, where's this thing going to go? Like, honestly, like, where the hell is it going to go? Like, it looks like it's coming straight down. Like, I can run anywhere on the field and it's going to hit me in the head is what it feels like, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sitting there with my glove up, and, dude, they're falling like 20 yards behind me, 15 yards in front of me. Like, it was a disaster, dude. It was an absolute disaster.
Harder than you think. Like, because, I mean, I played baseball with my friends growing up in Modesto, like on the street, like with a tennis ball that we play. You know, we're catching fly balls all the time, but there is something about fucking catching a fly ball. Everybody that can do it, they're going to be like, oh my God, you guys just suck at it. You guys are pathetic. But I played.
I am. That's fine. I am. I suck at baseball. As simple as that. I stopped playing baseball when I was 5 years old.
Yeah, and I was an outfield the 1 year I played, I think, in like 6th or 7th grade. Dude, I thought for sure, I was like, okay, I'm fast. At that point, I was pretty fucking fast in junior high. It's like, they put me in outfield. I'm like, dude, I'm going to be catching everything. I was so cocky. Like, I felt hella confident. I was like, dude, I can do this. And that shit, like, hanging and hanging and hanging. It's like, okay, go forward, and it falls behind me. If I go back, it fucking falls in front of me. I'm like, how do you judge fucking baseball, this little thing like this big, in a blue sky when there's, like, no clouds?
And they're moving, too. It's not like a wiffle ball. That thing is moving.
So yeah, if you lose it, there's a part of you that's like, oh fuck. Like,
well, yeah, and that's the other part about it. Like, that's a projectile, man. That could do some damage. So like, that's also in the back. Like, I know. So you know, it's just like the same thing like any sport, right? Naturally. So like you with basketball, it's probably like, you know, you don't think about what type of arch you have to put on the ball to get it over a defender. You just do it, or whatever the case is. You know, and me with football, I don't think about you know, what direction, what path I have to get to that runner, or you know, what hole I'm going to hit. You just kind of do it. And that's kind of how it is. I mean, you just do it, and you have it or you don't. I mean, and obviously practice makes a big difference, but
yeah, there's like some muscle memory and like instincts that go into it. And I think that's what sucks with baseball. Maybe that's why I sucked at it too. Like, I can hit pretty good. Like, even when I was up in Washington, when I was stationed up there, we had like a little division picnic thing one day. I was hitting the ball hella good. They're like, oh man, maybe you should come play with our team. But I couldn't field, so I'd only play like one game. And of course I hit like shit. So the one thing that got me to like actually try out, I failed at completely, and they realized, oh, he's fast, but he can't do anything else. So, but it's so boring.
Straight DH.
Majority of the game though, you're standing around.
And I think that's why I always thought it was, you know, an easy sport too, especially coming up to that point. It was, you know, compared to sports, right? Compared to like a lot of basketball's not really a contact sport anymore either. I mean, baseball's definitely not a contact sport. I don't consider that a contact sport in any sense. There's too much
time to think. There's too much time to think in between shit in baseball.
Dude, you can make a grass bracelet out there in the outfield at some points. Like, I mean, you could sit there and have a picnic if you wanted to. Like,
it's way too much time. Like
to me, it's not a game. It's not a team sport. Yeah, like you need. I mean, it is.
It is and it isn't.
It's
the most individualistic team sport in all the sports, because you do need to have a good pitching staff, good bullpen, good hitters, but at the same time, it's the one hitter.
It's the one hitter and the one pitcher. Other than that, everybody else are just pawns on the chessboard, man. Like
even a fielder, it's you and the ball.
That's what I mean.
And knowing where to go with it. Like basketball. I mean, you could be the best passer ever, but the rest of your team sucks, so you end up with like 2 assists a game. But you could have had 15 assists, but those dudes can't fucking make a bucket to save their life.
Russell Westbrook went from averaging a triple-double to being with the Lakers.
Dude,
I feel bad for that guy. Like, he doesn't fit on that team. I feel really bad for him.
I don't feel bad for him. He's making $45 million.
I like him. I mean, think about it, dude. Triple-double average for a season. Like, that's, to me, is ridiculous.
It's
like,
pretty iconic.
To me, it's ridiculous. And it was like, what, 2 or 3 years ago or something like that?
Yeah, he's not too far removed. I think he did 2 years in a row. Didn't he do like back-to-back years?
That's what I'm pretty sure he did. And it's not talked about like it's that big of a deal. Like that's like 100-point Wilt Chamberlain game to me. Like that's big.
If you were to compare it to like to old school stats like that, where Wilt Chamberlain's, I mean, come on, he's only fucking 6'8+ tall guy besides Bill Russell. So it's like, dude, and you're like one of only handful of black guys in the league. You better be averaging fucking 50 points and like 20 something rebounds, whatever the hell he averaged. Because it's, I think that all the time. I hate when they bring up like the greatest of all time in basketball. I think more so in basketball. I'm not sure how you feel about football, but basketball, it's like, and I watch those old ass tapes with like Bill Russell, Celtics and shit. If they were to grab me right now and drop me in the 50s, and those guys are dribbling like this, looking down at I'd be the best basketball player in the league, because I would be crossing them up.
Yes, you would. But guess what else would be crossing you up? A fucking fist or a knee to the groin. They played different back then. It was physical. It was a different game. Like they'll be like, oh, let this dude go. Oh, this dude thinks he can shoot. Okay.
Could they really do that in the 50s though? I feel like that was more
Grunt,
like 70s and 80s.
Grunt, you 10, number 10 on the bench. You're getting a minute. You're getting a minute in this game. Go take that full out right now. They played a lot more aggressive. Like even if you look back at like the 80s and the early 90s, like
that's
the way
where
that they played, that was vicious, man.
That's where I'd say it was more prevalent. 70s to like 90s, 50s. I don't think people were like fucking fighting each other back then.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, look at the quality of the video. Like, you couldn't see shit anyways, even if you wanted to. It looks like my video. It looks like my video compared to yours. You know what I mean? Like, you'd be watching a game on delay and being like, "Did he hit him? I don't know." The camera can't even keep up with how fast they're moving, so nobody even knows.
If Jerry West would have like elbowed me, I would have fucking. I mean, you got to think too. You're a professional athlete at that. If you a peak performance, I'd go back and I'd slap him up too. It's like you're over there smoking cigars and drinking whiskey and fucking halftime. I'm not doing that shit. I'm going to pull up these Westbrook stats real quick.
No, you're not. You're probably not walking back out on the court either. They'll probably tie your ass up and shit and fucking like, you know what? Like, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe it wasn't different, but, you know, I feel it was a lot different back then too. I mean, just the physicality of everything in general to me is different in every sport, really. except baseball. Baseball's baseball. Baseball just doesn't change. I mean, can you imagine? So think about that in a. Let me see that.
Dude, look. So this is last year with the Wizards, 65 games. He averaged. This is Russell Westbrook, 22 points, 11 rebounds.
That's his triple. That's his triple.
And he has another one.
That's 2 years ago, though.
He has this one on the Thunder, 2018. 22
That's
points.
Another triple.
Right here. And another one right here, 2017.
And look, he's still shooting, mid 40s too. Like
his 3-pointer is kind of horrible, but look at this. Even
always been bad.
In 2016, he has another one right here. So that's what 1, 2, 3, 4 years of triple doubles since 2016. The last 6 years, he's had 4 years.
Dude, do you remember when you would turn on like Sports Center or something like that, and there would be like one triple double, and they'd be like, "Oh my god, so and so got a triple double."
Well, now they're hella prevalent.
That dude averaged them. I mean,
it became kind of like
it also has to do with the way that the game has changed too. I mean, Russell Westbrook, I think, definitely earned it. But
you called him Westbrook.
What?
You even called him Westbrook.
Yeah, it's just natural. It's just natural.
You bum.
Like I mean, come on now. Like, there's big dudes averaging shit now. Like Nikola Jokic. Like, to me, that's crazy to me, man. That's crazy to me. You know. Okay, you know for a fact in the 80s, even in the 90s, if there was a big man doing some shit like that, man, you send Rick Mahorn out after him. You send some Dennis Rodman out at him, just like Dennis Rodman did with Alonzo Mourning and Karl Malone.
Some great All-Star heads.
You know what I mean? Some like gritty, like real in the paint kind of playing where you can still body. Yeah, you can body, you can elbow, you can put your arm on their back and not let them just back you down while you just do nothing. Basketball is just different. It's gotten a lot softer, but I mean, every sport has. Football's 100 times softer than what it used to be.
You can't breathe on the quarterback or wide receiver these days. I mean,
take the pads off. I bet you they'll play a lot better. I bet you there won't be so many nasty hits.
I just started thinking of
leather helmets.
I thought of a hella random basketball player when we were talking about old ones. I always hella liked, and I think he'd be fucking good today because he was pretty good back in the day. Antonio McDyess.
Antonio McDyess.
He was always one of my favorite guys.
What was he on? Like Phoenix or something like that, right?
He bounced around for.
Yeah, he bounced around. He was on the Nuggets, I know for sure, I think.
He was on the Pistons, on the Spurs. Dude, he was like probably on every team in the NBA.
He might have been on every team at one point, yeah.
But I always hella liked him because he was like a solid 15 to 20 point guy, but like 8 to 10 rebounds, close to. And I feel like he'd kill it today because he had like a PJ Brown even today because they had that nice little.
Oh, PJ in his prime, and you put him on that little corner, like right in the baseline right there. Oh, dude, it's just money every day.
Like some of those type of big guys that had a decent mid range, and they weren't fat. Like they weren't, or not fat, but they weren't like Shaquille O'Neal big. Like they weren't like a true center or power forward. They're kind of athletic.
They're just gritty.
They're athletic too, though. They can move a little bit. I think they're afraid of nothing. PJ Brown.
Yeah, I mean, dude. Speaking of PJ, do you remember the Van Gundy and the Knicks and the Miami and Alonzo and Larry Johnson, Allen Houston?
Fucking Larry Johnson would do this stupid thing.
It was the L. It was the L.
No, it was the L. I thought he did LJ. Yeah. That's what it was supposed to be, like an LJ.
Maybe it was. I don't know. I never really noticed that, but I thought it was just for an L. Huh. That's a thought.
Allen Houston was another hella good Nick, actually. Allen Houston was on those teams.
I hated that guy so much, dude. I hated that guy so much.
He was good though.
He iced us. He iced us so many times, dude. Because that's when Miami Heat in New York, like, it didn't matter what seed you were. It was a good game. And I want to say, I'm pretty sure that the New York Knicks beat us when we were a number 1 seed and they were a number 8. It was either that or we were number 2 and they were number 7. But it was like the first time in NBA history that it happened or something stupid like that. And that dude iced us every damn time. Every time he put up the ball, I felt like it was going in.
He was hella good. He's like one of those guys that nobody ever talks about. But he was hella good. You know, like
maker,
if you like watch basketball, you know who he was, and you're like, damn, he's like all-star. I'm pretty sure he's probably, if he wasn't, I'd be surprised if he wasn't a perennial all-star, because he was good.
He was very
I used
good.
to like Allen Houston just because he could shoot. I was a big fan of scorers growing up.
I didn't like him at all.
I'm gonna look up his stats real quick here too. Let's see. Yeah, 2002, he was averaging 22 points, 20 points, 18, 19. Know who he is? He's like a Rudy Gay.
Yeah.
Rudy Gay.
I felt like Rudy Gay could have been more. Didn't he get like injured pretty early or something like that too? And then kind of like Rudy Gay, yeah.
No telephone at Rudy Gay. He became one of my favorite players back in the day when he was on the Grizzlies. I think that's where he started. Just because of 2K, because his potential was always like a B plus or an A. I'm hella lame because I bring a video game, but I'd always
after a season he was like 99 overall.
Yeah, he'd be hella good, and he was always like his career stats. He's close to 20 points from. Watch, I'll pull this up too. From like year 2. Oh my god, he played on a bunch of teams. I didn't realize how many fucking teams he played on. But he's been around for a grip though. I mean, look at this.
Let's see.
Like 2007 is basically when he broke out. 20, 18, 19, 19, 19, 17, 19, 20, 19, 21, 17, 18, and he got old.
So that first column is your games played, right? So look at that. Yeah. 2016, you got a 30 game. Okay, there it is. 2013 Raptors 18 game. That must have been when the injury happened.
Yeah, look at this, because he started off playing like every game.
Yeah.
Last year,
I want to say he got injured. I'm pretty sure he did, but maybe I'm mistaken.
Yeah, he missed a couple. This like little stretch right here, 2012 to 2013, 33 games. Oh no, 2012, 42. So he played like half a season and less than half. But man, I always felt like he was underrated. Dude was hella good. See, it's Allen Houston-esque.
Yeah,
like the same numbers.
Yeah,
he was hella nice for a stretch there, and then he's like, yeah, one of those guys that you expected to have been like freaking, like almost like a T-Mac level type scorer or something, but ended up just being a guy. That's my favorite all time. That's why I brought him up.
Fucking T-Mac, man.
I love T-Mac. I even shoot like T-Mac, or try to. I'm not gonna say I shoot like him, but I feel like I predicated my whole game based off his the way he played.
It's funny watching like the evolution of the NBA, because like we'll go the evolution of the jerseys, right? So it started off super tight, super shorts and all that kind of stuff, and then late 80s, early 90s started coming around, and that's when you had your Fab Five and all that kind of stuff come out, and everything got a little baggier, not a little baggier, like super baggy. Like I remember Allen Houston's jerseys, like they looked like they were falling off of them, and then now, if you watch the NBA now, have you noticed it's kind of evolving back to the tight shorts, the short shorts, the
I've noticed that because know what they do? They wear the under shorts or whatever, the compression shorts that are a little bit longer, that go like right above the knee.
Yeah.
So those are like normal short length, and then they have, like a almost like
look at LeBron. Look how short LeBron's shorts are these days.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. He wears like 80s, like when Jordan and Bird and Magic wore those like high.
John Stockton, where you look like the dude from Reno 911, the guy that ride this bike,
showing them fucking old. It's, by the way, has John Stockton ever looked young? I feel like that dude has looked old his whole life.
He has that gene. He has that gene where when he was young, he looked old. Now that he's old, he looks young. Yeah. He's just, you know what I mean? He just always looked mid-40s.
When he was drafted at like 22 years old, he looked like he was 35. They're like, what the fuck?
I mean. Yeah.
This guy's smoking cigars or something at halftime. What's the guy doing?
Stockton. And it's funny. So Jeff Hornacek, right? And then what was the coach on that team? David Sloan. Jerry Sloan. Jerry Sloan. So I always thought, for whatever reason growing up, because they looked alike, that Jerry Sloan was Jeff Hornacek's dad. I'm not joking. I really did.
I can see that. I can actually see that.
I thought that Jerry Sloan was Jeff Hornacek's dad. Or
because they do hell look like each other.
They do.
Off memory right now.
Watch, we're gonna pull it up, and they're not gonna look anything alike.
I know.
They're not gonna look anything alike.
Oh no, I found a good one. Isn't Jeff Hornacek the coach of He's a coach of the Suns still, right? Or no, he's not.
The Suns is
that was a while ago. That's
Monty Williams.
Yeah, Monty Williams. I'm gonna piss some folks off with that one. I'm sure they're like, "How you come? You don't know."
But he was coaching, and I want to say he was coaching for Utah for a little bit.
Look at this.
All right, I want to see this.
Oh, is it going to make it big?
Oh,
get out here! What the hell?
Right there, the one on the bottom, right underneath your mouse right now. Hold on, yeah, right there. Go to the right, That one in the huddle. They look exactly the same. They look exactly the same to me,
dude.
That's wild. So I was right. I think they are related or something.
And look at him now when he's coaching. Look at that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, hella looks like he could definitely. He looks like he could be like they're definitely related.
Oh,
look, here's a young Jerry Sloan, and then here's Jeff Hornacek.
Look at that. Something's up, dudes. Something's up. Back to our initial talk, right? There's one of the fucking 14 running around that you didn't know about.
Oh shit. That's funny as fuck right there.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Dude, that dude was a sharpshooter too.
See, a lot of these dudes, sharpshooters. A lot of these guys back in those days, they shot threes, but they didn't shoot them like today. And it makes
they didn't have the opportunity to either.
Yeah, well, and it wasn't part of like the game plan to fucking jack up 30-footers or 25-footers all day. So it's like it makes you wonder what would a guy like Jeff Hornacek do today? Like the fact that Reggie Miller held that record for as long as he did to get, I mean, in the 80s, 90s, it wasn't a go shoot threes league like it is today. Right. Like now you're like we were talking about, or you kind of brought up, I think, like the centers and stuff. Like Jokic he shoots threes, and Embiid shoots threes. Karl Anthony Towns shoots threes.
But it's also part of the rules. I mean, they it's easy money. It's easy buckets. You know,
I mean, like Akeem Olajuwon and fucking shit like that. They weren't jacking up threes,
right? Can you imagine? Like, I wonder what these guys' legacies would be if that was the case. Like, to me, it's almost like the legacy is almost built off of being that dominant in a certain aspect of it. Like, you know, Akeem, I mean, you put him in the paint and he spins and he fades and it's done.
Now, do you think
it's going in every time?
Do you think there's more skill involved in playing like that than coming off a pick or a screen, a pick and roll situation, just jacking up a three?
Absolutely.
Because I think that's kind of
I think it's a lot of more micro strategies that are needed to be implemented very quickly. You know, when you're playing like that, when you're playing with a guy like right on your back or whatever the case is, there's a lot of micro strategies because it changes in a heartbeat and you're going more off of just flow. You know, now it feels like you said, it's part of the game plan to literally just screen off and shoot up a three. And you've done it for 25, 30 years of your life. You're probably going to be pretty damn good at it at this point. So, you know, that's definitely become part of the strategy. But, you know, I don't know. Basketball, it's fun to watch. It's just not the same as what
it's hard to get through a game because they call fouls on fucking everything, and then when they don't call fouls, they beg for fouls.
They're horrible. Yeah, it's a lot of begging and pleading, and just like it's a lot of politics because you'll see one bad foul, right? You'll see a bad call or a bad call, and then all of a sudden down the floor, it's almost like, oh, we got to give them a bad call now.
Yeah. Well, and then it always reminds me, like when you go play pickup games, there's always like the one fucking guy that calls fouls on every play. And that shit just, I hate it. It slows down the game. Like when I play pickup games, I want the shit to just go. Like I never call fouls. Even if I get blatantly fouled, I don't think I've ever called my own foul.
I'm coming at you harder. I'm coming at you harder.
Well, I've had people call fouls for me, and they're like, "Hey, dude,"
and that's the only time I've had a foul called on me in street ball. Is some other people be like, "No, man, that's a foul. That's a foul. You can't do that." But to me, it's like I'm never calling a foul. Like I'll come at you harder. I'll dig my elbow into your chest next time before I go up. Like period. Like I'm going at you harder. If that's how we're gonna go, that's how we're gonna go. It's as simple as that. And you kind of have to accept the rules of the game and the way that they're played and the way that moves at that moment. And just man,
It can remind me of when I got dunked on. So my friend Calvin, him and I were playing 2-on-2. We've never lost 2-on-2. This dude was huge. Just a big old freaking. You could tell he probably played like college at some level, maybe even like G. He looked like he probably played like G League or something. He was older though. Big old, just jacked. He's probably like 6 foot. He's taller than me. The big old black dude. And I was draining threes on him all fucking game. It was just one of those days where like I don't know what it was.
Yeah,
everything was going in, and he dunked on me though. He got pissed because he was backing me up, and I grabbed his shirt. He's like, "Don't you fucking touch me!" I was like, "Oh shit, okay." But he turned around and dunked on me. He's like,
"Touch me!"
He dunked on me and flexed on me. He's like, "Oh!" I was like, "Dude, that was cool. I've never been dunked on before." I think that fucked him up a little bit more because I've never been dunked on. I was like, "Damn, that's kind of sick. That's how it feels." Like that is fucking trippy, dude. Like
I don't think I ever really knew anybody that could ever dunk.
That's the first time I've even seen somebody dunk in the game, and it happened on me. So I was like, I was like, holy crap! It was kind of cool. I'm like looking up, this dude just like freaking feet in my face. I'm like, that's kind of cool. I wouldn't want that to happen all the time, but to say I've been dunked on once, like felt like a rite of passage. I guess it's like, man, I've been playing basketball my whole life, never been dunked on, and the guy dunked on me, and he thought it was so cool and badass, and I just like. Did like Andrew Luck, like shook his hand, like, "Oh,
yeah, Andrew
Luck, good job, dude. That was cool."
I keep waiting to hear that he's gonna come back or something like that, but
I love Andrew Luck.
Now it's too late. I think at this point.
Oh, did you see him at
like 3 years or something like that?
Well, did you see him at the national championship game, the national title game?
Really? He's gone, huh? He's that out of shape?
Dude, no, I would say out of shape. He's just super thin. He looks super thin. He looks like a science teacher. He looks like a science teacher. He has a big old mustache. He looks old.
He's doing it. He's doing it.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's doing it, man.
Imagine if the Colts would have had the offensive line they have now and the team they have now with him, though.
There's a lot of teams that would love to have Andrew Luck, and that's why it trips me out with the quarterback shortage that the NFL has right now. That there's not more talk about players like that coming back.
Well, I think some teams give up on fucking quarterbacks too quick. I think that's part of it too. Like I know who I always liked, and I think he might kill it is Marcus Mariota. I've always liked him. I hope he does good because he was doing pretty good in Tennessee, and he's got hurt a lot, but. I mean, I'm not saying he needs to be a superstar, but you can be a Teddy Bridgewater-esque level.
Well, this is like, I don't know. All these guys, everyone that plays from number 1 to what is it, 56? Was it 56 players, right?
I think, like 53 or something. Yeah, I think it's 53 or 50.
53. So every single one of these players broke high school records at every high school they went to. Every single one of them. Were the best player in their high school, period, or even in the state at the time that they were coming out.
Yeah,
these guys are all good, and then there's just a different level. Sometimes there's just a different level, and to me, honestly, you know what I think that different level is? Is their work ethic.
Well, this is man. So my very first podcast, my buddy John from high school. We're talking about this a little bit, like, because I think that you see the same thing in like a regular job. Your dog's going crazy. But you see, like,
I don't know what all the windows are closed too. So I don't know what they're barking at.
But you see, like in a regular job too, where some people got all the talent in the world, like, because all these guys are hella talented. Like you're saying, they've all broken records, or at least even like a 3-star high school recruits probably
at
the best.
at the very least, at the very least.
So a lot of these dudes have talent, and some people do make a career off just having talent. Like they make it to the pros, and I always think like Carmelo Anthony's probably one of those guys, hella talented, and dude can put up buckets in his prime whenever. Like nobody could really stop him. But then there's dudes that also have not as much talent, but they have like a different work ethic. So their work ethic kind of like counteracts their talent. And then there's like the super great, the LeBrons, the Jordans, Tom Brady's, I guess, guys like that have both. That like
exactly. Yeah, that have both. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But that's very far and few in between. How many? I mean, you can name probably a handful of players in all the sports that have both, because most people have either or. It's like either hella talented and no work ethic really. I mean, they have some, and then you have the dude that busts his ass fucking in the gym, first one, last one, all the time, studies film.
It's almost like what you need is as you're coming up as a kid to not necessarily believe in your talent as much as you believe in your work ethic. You know what I mean? And then at that point, I think that's the best time to kind of implement that work ethic to extend into the rest of your life. Because a good example is like school. All the way through junior high, I didn't study. I never did homework. I never had to do none of that stuff. It was just easy. And then when I got into high school and that program that I got into at Modesto High, I needed to study. Like it was the first time in my life I needed to study. I didn't know how to do it. It's not that I was stupid or anything like that. I just didn't have the dedication to the study that I should have, because I never practiced how to study. I never knew how to study. I didn't think it made an impact because it never did before, stuff like that. And the best thing for somebody is probably to not believe in their actual talent at a young age, more believe in their actual work ethic and think that's what got them to where they're at. And then, kind of let it go from there, because I think that's really the blueprint that they need. And that's probably the case. Michael Jordan, I know is the case, because he didn't even play in high school. What was it? Right.
Yeah. I think he got cut.
He got cut from his high school team. Tom Brady doesn't look like a very athletic guy, but man, he's Tom Brady. It's just the work. I think if you don't have it when you're young, you're just like all the silver spoon stuff that we're talking about also earlier. Like you're not gonna know how to relate to it. You're not gonna know how to do it.
And I think it happens a lot for like basketball players. It's like more so now, dude, because they got AAUs all over the place. So they're like recruited. They start recruiting them at like fucking 13, 14 years old. Already being told, oh, fuck, you're going to go pro. You're going to be top 10 pick. Maybe that's like a detriment to some kids, because now they start thinking, oh, shit, I'm untouchable. Like I'm already one of the best in the entire country. Yep. And everybody's telling me I'm going to go to Duke or North Carolina, Syracuse. I get to pick wherever I want to go, play 1 year, go get drafted in the lottery the next year, and be a pro making millions at 18, 19 years old.
Yep.
And then, I know, because I'm more on, I'm not saying I'm hella talented, but mentally wise, I think I'd be more on that aspect of like, man, because I'm like that with certain things already in just everyday life. Like when people tell me I'm good at something, automatically, if it's something new, especially that I'm getting into, and they're like, oh man, you picked that up really quick, I almost instantly be like, oh fuck, so I don't need to really try that hard. Like I'd rather you just tell me, dude, you did okay, but you got to do this more, you got to do that more. I hate instant gratification, I guess.
Well, yeah, and sadly, that's kind of where society is right now too. Is kind of washing it down a little bit, like not being truthful, not like like people at work sometimes. It's like you're not cutting it. I mean, it's just as simple as that. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. And if you don't do that, then you're not doing what I need you to do. And, they take it the wrong way, take it as an attack or whatever the case is. But,
that's part of it too.
You need to be able to develop, man. You need to be able to admit to your flaws too. Like that's one of the reasons why I don't think I was ever bullied is I was the first one to say, yeah, whatever.
Shit.
Whatever. You know?
I wish I was like that. I got bullied. Remember that shit? Do you ever? So I talked about
what do we talk? We talk about basketball right now. The junior high or the high school. Is that what we're talking about?
Well, it wasn't too bad in junior high, but like high school was when it got real bad because they were older kids. But my friend John and I were talking about that on our first podcast about bowling. That was a good portion of it. And I told him how that kind of, in like retrospect, now I think about it, made me quit playing basketball. It like sucked all the fun from playing fucking basketball because I had like fucking juniors and seniors. It wasn't much the kid my age because I was like whatever with him. But man, we got fucking people that are like 3 years older than you getting in your face,
Right.
which it's a little intimidating. But
Absolutely.
it's like, damn.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just one of those things, you know. It's just and in sports, I mean, survival of the fittest, and whether it's mental or physical, it's just how it works, you know. Locker room banter can tear somebody apart, that's for sure, pretty quick.
Well, that's what I wish it would. If it was just like locker room shit, it'd be different. But it was like off the court, not even basketball. Well, it was basketball related, I guess, because I think they were always pissed. I can't remember why, but I think it's probably because I was better than most people. Like, that's pretty good. I'm not going to like say I was the best, but I would say I'm the best, but I don't want to come across hella cocky. But I was fucking good. I think I still am, actually.
It's lonely at the top, man. It's always good to be the best.
Like, I'm still pretty fucking good. I can go hoop almost any day. And I think that's what a lot of it stemmed from is like, dude, I was pretty fucking good. And people hated it, or they hated it. And they fucking try to fuck with me all the time because of it.
But yeah, you know, it does, and a lot of that has to do with, you know, too, like their insecurities and stuff like that, or being afraid, or I mean, there's so many variables, and then even on, like, say, you know, the response end, like your end of it, it's a lot of how you grew up and stuff like that too. Like, we grew up very differently, you know. You know, whether it be gangs and guns and all that kind of stuff, and, you know, thankfully I never got involved in none of that stuff, but, you know, I think that's why I never got, like I said, you know, everyone develops differently depending on situations and areas. And
well, you did more growing up in Modesto.
Yeah.
Mine was in Houston.
I did a lot of stuff really young, and, you know, you learn from it, or you don't, and you end up in jail or something like that. But
and subsequently, you got me involved in some shit when I was young too.
What?
I remember. I don't think mom or dad will ever listen to this, but
it doesn't matter.
You came back from Vegas. I think it was your 21st birthday. I'm pretty sure you just turned 21. So, I mean, it wasn't my first drink. Now I'm thinking about it, because I was 15. But you came home, and I remember you had your suitcase, and you had like these little
shots,
the Jack Daniels orange. This is a random ass memory. I don't know why I remember this.
Damn, I don't even remember this one, man.
But you had a whole bunch of them, and I used to like. I'm not sure if you remember this, but I used to like sitting on your bed and like looking through your sports cards and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I remember you're like, "Oh, you want to have one?" Because I was like, "Oh, what's that? It looked like orange juice or like orange crush." And you're like, "Oh, you want to have it, dude?" I had like 3 of them while you're on your computer fucking around. I was sitting there getting fucking drinking Jack Daniels, freaking looking at fucking sports cards and comic book cards and shit.
Those are good times.
Just sitting there on the fucking bed, dude, just drinking. I'm sure, I mean, mom and dad were home. I don't know what the fuck they were doing, but it's like, yeah, it was probably 15 or 14 because my birthday's after yours, so I was 14.
You know, you guys could have got away with a lot more stuff if you wanted to, because mom and dad's attention was strictly on me at one point, where it was just like, I was just out and about. You know,
I think that's where I got lucky, because I used to sneak out, and I think because I'm like the least one to suspect an entire family to like break rules or something. But man, I used to go through the kitchen in Houston and then go through into the garage. And then the garage door went to the backyard. So then I'd go out that door and I'd open up the gate and I'd just walk on the little cement path all the way to the street. My friends would pick me up. Or I'd walk down the street to like my buddy's house. That's what I did the one time you picked me up when I was walking home, like drunk at like 8 o'clock at night.
I remember that one.
The night had just started.
He called me or something like that. Yeah. Like you couldn't go home or something like that.
Yeah. Well, because I knew Mom
never. You know what I'm doing? I'm playing Halo and smoking some herb, man. Let's do this, bro. With the roof caved in and all.
Getting that 44-ounce fucking wild cherry Pepsi with some Crown.
Hell yeah. Get 2 burritos from La Perla Tapatio. Keep them in the fridge just so that way I could buy one, get one free, and then reheat one the next day, man. That was the life, brother. Shit.
We did some... Dude, and freaking... We were on some random kicks. Like, we were on the chili cheese fries Del Taco kick.
Oh, dude, that sounds actually really good. I forgot about those. Those, bro, hell yeah. And they were like $1.50 or something stupid.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure we'd see those are like stoner things. So we'd go do that and be like fucking high as hell. We're like, dude,
I think you're right. So that's what I think about that stuff all the time sometimes now, right? Because like I'm thinking like, damn man, I used to get like lit. I used to get like lit, and then I would like drive to fucking Carl's Jr. or Del Taco and shit, just like nothing, like whatever.
Dude, see, that's one of the other places we're hooked on was Carl's Jr.'s. We'd get the crisp cut fries with ranch.
Hell yeah. And I was on that chicken sandwich one for a while, not the Santa Fe one, but the charbroiled something chicken sandwich. It had like some barbecue sauce on it and shit. And then like the best one, dude. And it actually broke my heart when they took it away. Was the pastrami burger? The pastrami burger. I was just like, man. Tell me about it, dude. I was just like, man, the fucking pastrami burger, it's gone. That was a promotional thing. Oh hell no.
Oh shit.
Yeah, those were good times, man. Like,
simple. One of the times I'm pretty sure, man, I'm almost 100% sure we had like smoked weed and then watched this. I think it was was it The Grudge? I think it was The Grudge. We watched some fucking horror film in your house.
Sounds about right.
Dude, I remember running back to the house.
You know what? I think I do remember you telling me about that. I just don't remember what movie it was now.
Barefoot.
Okay, yeah.
Barefoot on gravel, dude.
Yeah,
you're like, all right, do you go to bed or whatever? I'm like, all right. I was fucking freaking out, dude. I was just like full on sprinting. We had that heavy ass gate to get in the back. We had to lift it. It's like one of those things I didn't even look back. I was like, I'm not looking back. I'm not fucking looking anywhere. I'm looking straight ahead.
Fuck. Yeah, man.
Just high as hell, most likely.
Yep. That was it, dude. Like, oh man, bro. I think I do remember that. Those were good times. Like, I had a lot of good times at that place. Like, especially when I moved into that third house in the back, because it was just like a do whatever the fuck you want kind of place. Like,
yeah,
it reminded me of like going to see Larry back in the day when I was growing up and seeing him at the mobile homes and stuff, where it was just, what do you have in the fridge to drink, Larry? Nothing. Beer.
He lived on
all right, I'm drinking a beer.
What's the island called? The
Bethel Island.
Bethel Island. When he lived over on Bethel Island.
Dude, I had some. Oh my god, dude, I had some times over there, dude. Like, I can't believe Mom let me go over there at that age. Like,
see, that's how I feel.
She had to have known. She had to have known.
That's how I feel going to your house. And that's
what I mean. Yeah,
high
exactly.
School.
Yep.
It's like
just like
you're in your 20s. It's like you guys know. Like, I'm not going over there just to like, hey, bro, I'll give you a hug and say like I love you. Like, we're going over there. We're fucking probably drinking a little bit of something.
We're doing something. We're doing something. Like, honestly, like we're gonna be doing something. And you know, I look back at it too, like thinking about the weed. Like, there's no way they didn't smell it. It's not like they were that far away. You know, so
no shit. I didn't even thought about that. I mean,
I think about that all the time. So, you want to hear a funny story?
Woo!
I don't think I ever told you about this one. I don't even know who it was, dude. It was somebody. It was either grandma, grandpa, mom, or dad. All right. I was I was at the house and I was, sitting in there just doing my thing, just burning a blunt. And I don't know if I was playing a game or watching TV, dude. And, sometimes like, that's why I don't like to if I smoke, I don't like to go out in public or nothing like that. Cause I do get a little like paranoid and whatnot. Like I'd rather be full sensed if I go out in public,
Some people can do it though, which is impressive.
I know. And it blows my mind. I'm glad I can't, or else I'd be like a stoner all day, every day kind of thing. So it keeps me level. You know what I mean? So anyways, I'm sitting there, and all I had for the curtains were like a bed sheet hanging over the window. So like when my lights are on inside, you can most likely see from outside inside, and I never really thought about it, but. So I'm sitting there and I'm smoking, and I want to say I was probably watching The Grudge too. It feels like I was watching The Grudge at that time for some reason, and all I hear is on the window, not the window by the front door, the window right outside the living room where you have to open the dog's gate to go into. You actually have to open the dog's gate and go in to get to that window. There was a dun, 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 a knock.
Hell no.
Hell no. Bro, no. Like, I wasn't scared. I knew it was either mom, dad, grandma, or grandpa. And you know what I did, bro? Like, instantly, I fucking dropped to the ground. Like, I was just like, nobody see me. And I didn't fucking move. Like, I'm sitting there, like, frozen. Like, oh, my God, do they know I'm fucking in here smoking? You know what I mean? And it's just crazy to think about, like, how much the times have changed since then. Like, how much accepted it is now and everything, too. But, yeah, that terrified me, dude. Like, you want to talk about paranoia, man. Like, I want to say I sat on that floor for a good 10, 15 minutes, like making sure there was no more sounds coming from outside, like making sure no one else saw me.
It's probably like 10 seconds, but it felt.
So if they end up seeing this, maybe they'll clarify and tell me who it was. Like, because it's still a big question in my head who it was. I want to say it was, if I had a guess.
I have a guess of who it would be that would do something like that.
If I had a guess,
I'd say grandpa. That'd be my guess.
That's what I was going to say too.
That's a grandpa thing to do.
So it's either grandpa
or grandma,
or it was dad.
Oh,
because why would grandma and grandpa go into the dog's kennel?
True.
Right.
What if it was me?
Yeah, fuck you.
Because I'm thinking about it. I used to play fetch with Grizzly and Dylan all the time.
No, it was a knock, bro. Like, and I saw the shadow walk by too.
Like, hey, what are you
doing? Yeah, basically like, hey, I know what you're doing in there. That's what it felt like to me. I wasn't afraid of it being like some creepy something or nothing like that. To me, it was like, hey, I know what you're doing in there. That's what it felt like.
I would laugh if it were me doing it, just fucking with you.
Bro, I'll fucking kick your ass then.
I wish I knew. I guess it wasn't, because I feel like I'd remember.
No,
that'd be hilarious.
I doubt it was.
See, I feel like it'd be a grandpa thing, but yeah, but why would he be in the dog kennel?
That's what I mean.
But anyway, I don't know why if dad would do it, because I feel like dad always kind of avoided.
I don't even know if he knows what the shit smells like. He'd probably just be like, "What is that?"
Yeah, I feel like he would avoid those type of situations anyways.
Yeah, just remember though, it was a little bit different for me and him back then.
Yeah,
we were two rams kind of going head to head sometimes.
Well, the only time I ever got that type of treatment, I think I told you about when I was at your house last time, is when I went and played basketball, my phone died. That was like the first time I really got like the whole lecture. I think I was like 16, so I wasn't like a little kid anymore. I was actually I was kind of pissed. I was fucking pissed. But I went and played basketball with my friend Paul, who lived down the street in Ceres. My phone died. I'm like, whatever. Then I told mom I was going to go play basketball. Maybe I didn't say where. Right. It was late. It was probably like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. I don't know. We went to McDonald's. I guess Megan and mom were driving around looking for me, but they ended up going to McDonald's or something too. And I got home before they did. I had a bag full of fucking burgers and a drink. I was living in your room. I had moved into your room at this point. So I'm sitting there and fucking opening everything up. And dad came in. He's like, where the fuck have you been? Just give me the whole lecture. I don't work for this. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Dude, that was like the first time I got like the whole, like, kind of like you're acting like an idiot type speech. And I was like, for real? I went and played basketball. Like, I'm sweaty. It's not like, of all the things I have been doing, but my older friends, because my friend Paul and like the kids down the street were older than me.
Right.
It's like, of all the things I've done,
that's the least thing that you should be yelling at me about.
Yeah, if I came home hammered and fucking smelling like weed or some shit, maybe you'd be you could justify it. But like, I smell like I've been playing fucking basketball all day.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
that's what's funny, because even the first time I snuck out, you told me this. This was like a tidbit I always remembered. You told me to sneak out, just go through the front door. He's like, you told me if you're gonna leave, if you're gonna go, just go.
Yep.
So I came home. I did that very same thing. First time I ever went out, I was probably like 14. I went out and came back through the front door, and Mom was standing there in the kitchen with her in a robe drinking milk.
Had that happen a few times. Yeah,
like
I know that feeling.
Early. I mean, well, it's early in the morning, but late at night type situation, you know? Came home, I smell like just straight Axe body spray. I'm like trying to cover up everything possible.
But you think you had it covered, right? Like at that point in time, you're just like, shit, ain't nobody gonna know shit.
Oh yeah, I'm like everybody's asleep, man. I'm like, fuck. And mom just like, you have fun or did you have fun tonight? I was like, oh yeah. She's like, okay. And that was it. I was like, oh fuck. I remember like kind of laying down, freaking out. I'm like, am I gonna be in trouble? I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Mom's been around, man. Like that's I think that's where it all comes from is dude, I know she's been around. I know she partied. I know that.
I never got lectured for that. I was like, damn, if it had been opposite, I would probably got just destroyed if it were to be.
Oh, dude, yeah. It's just yeah. Yeah. Always out the front door though, man. Always out the front door.
Yeah.
It's quiet, it's easy.
It actually really is. In that house it really was, because like the hallway was right by the front door, if I remember right. You came in and it's like you made a left, and all the rooms,
all the rooms were right there.
Yeah, like my old room and in your room, because I ended up being I was living in or I had moved to your room at this point. They were like right across from each other, the first two rooms, and then Mom and Dad's were like all the way down the hall. So I was like, damn, that shit was like built for sneaking out. And you had a huge window. I went through that big ass window before.
That was big. That was big. That was a big window.
I used to go through that one. It's like, damn.
It just seems like so much can happen jumping through a window, you know? So it's like, make a lot of noise, and you have to put the screen back and all this other crap too.
That is a humongous fucking window. Like you could legit. I used to crawl through it. Like I'd open it and I'd just put my legs out and then walk. It's like, damn, that house was built for high schoolers. Just
really was. Out, the whole property was. Yeah, that whole property was built for that. It feels like. Yeah, that was a fun time, man. That was a fun time. And then after that, then your mom left you with me for a whole summer.
And see, and I get lectured for playing basketball late at night. But fuck, you're gonna leave me with my 22, 23-year-old.
I was like 22 years old, dude. I was prime. I was prime party. I was prime party stage at that point, dude. Yeah.
And I, like people that tune in and listen to this one, I was like clubbing, bar clubbing, not like fucking house party, living it up with my friends. I was fucking in clubs, legit clubs.
That's right.
Definitely the youngest person. Definitely.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it.
I was even an adult about it. Legally.
No, there's no doubt. You weren't even 18. Like there's no. Wait, yeah, you were. Were you? No, you were 17.
I was 17. The first time I think I went was for my 17th birthday.
That's right. It was. It was. And we went deep. We went like 15 people deep to that club too. That was a fun night.
Man, it sounds hella fake because I've told people this whole story before. Like I showed up with you and your friends, and you had the one friend that was a DJ, and the bouncer was just like shaking everybody's hand. And I was 16, 17. That dude straight up just said, "What's up, dude?" Gave me a handshake, and I went in. I'm like, "Holy fuck!" There's this. Apparently, I look like I'm 21. It's like, thanks, dude. I look old, I guess, now in hindsight. But just straight in.
I remember you were tripping so hard, like, dude, I don't think I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna get in. I'm like, bro, you're gonna get in. Trust me. Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
No hesitation.
Get
No.
in.
No. Like the bouncer didn't like look me up or down. Nothing. He's just like, oh fuck.
No. And then everybody right behind us, can I see your ID, please?
Yeah.
It's like,
damn, this is like some VIP shit.
No, like that was a good time. That was a good time to be out here to be together because, like I said, like it was prime. That was prime party. Like we had everything going for us at that point. I mean, I want to say we even had the studio still at that point. You know, we had Sergio DJing, which, you know, I mean, everybody that was owning the clubs, we went to high school with. So it was just. It was the perfect time. It was a perfect time. It was a perfect combination, and then
definitely
that was a fun trip, man.
Some of those nights led to like some crazy ones. Like I'm not going to talk about the fight one too much, but remember the freaking bottle rocket? You remember?
No, I didn't. I thought it was going to shoot off. I do remember that. Oh, so I didn't realize you had a. So yeah. So okay, yeah. So I'll yeah. So anybody that hasn't heard this story, like. I thought you held the bottle rocket on the stick and it shot off the stick, but apparently that's not the case. You're supposed to put the stick inside of a bottle. That's why it's called a fucking bottle rocket. So we're sitting out there in the middle of the, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, drunk and whatever, and starting to light bottle rockets, and I'm holding on to it. I remember it blew up in my hand, right?
Yeah, it went off in your hand. Like this is all the shit you would see like on videos where people like lose fingers and shit. And it's always when they're drunk, and that's exactly what that type of situation was, dude.
Yeah.
Went through the fence. I think it going through your fence into the neighbor's backyard. You were like, "Oh shit!" and you let it go. It's like,
yeah, because I threw it because it was like I was like, it wasn't going to shoot off. When's it going to come off the stick? And it's sitting there, the sparks are just shooting on my hand, burning my hand the whole time. It's like, yeah, man.
I recorded that on my Sony Ericsson flip phone,
dude. Oh my god, bro! Wow, that'd be a good video to find if you. I bet that phone's gone, long gone.
Oh yeah, dude. If I had that phone, I would in the charger. I would pull that up because that shit was. I hella forgot about that till just now, but that story was
totally
so
forgot
fucking
about
random.
That. I totally forgot about that. Man,
that's one of those random things that would happen. Like we come
that's
home.
That's what that house was, though. That's what that house was. I mean,
yeah,
it was 3 guys living in there, all early 20s. One was a DJ, and a DJ that actually was a house DJ and a resident at one of the clubs downtown. So, I mean, and you knew how it was when we came home from the clubs, even if you didn't go out with us to the club. Like, know how it was when we came home. Like, the club came home with us. Like, it was wild, dude. That place was...
Well, because he had the whole setup in the living room, too. Like, he'd come in.
which got annoying as a roommate at a certain point. I mean, it's just like, man, all you hear all day is boom, 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 boom. Because it's all house music. And you know how all house music has the same bass line. And it's just like, boom, 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 boom.
All day,
boom,
all night.
Boom, boom. But after the clubs, though, man, and then the pool table. We had the pool table.
Yeah, the pool table.
That place was built for parties, man. That place was built for parties.
We had the freaking
the makeout beanbag.
Yeah,
that you slept on.
Fucking everybody made me sleep on, just to find out it was like the fucking love section.
The love making bag, yeah. But everybody slept on that thing at one point, man. I slept on that a few times too. Like it is.
Yeah, but I slept on it every night.
Yeah, that's right.
The house.
Yeah, those were the dude. Dang, man, that was a fun time.
What a diet too. We just ate like calzones,
Subway,
alcohol.
I want to say that's about it. Yeah,
some weed.
Yep.
Dude,
and some Halo.
I'm having like flashbacks. There's this one time too. I don't know what we smoked. I know we've talked about this before, but dude, I fucking woke up. I don't remember anything after smoking this. Like we smoked it, and I woke up because you had the little steps. I went into the kitchen. Like I woke up.
There was a step up. Like everything was a step up. It felt like all the way to the kitchen. Yeah.
I was laying on the steps, and you poured. I don't know what you were doing, but there was a bowl of like just a cereal bowl in front of me, and you came up and you poured cereal in the bowl, and you walked away. I don't know what the fuck was going.
I left the bowl up there too.
You left it right in front of me on the ground. I was on the ground.
Maybe I wanted to make sure you got some nutrients in your body. Maybe I figured you'd wake up and start eating some or something.
But it's like one of those random, like the only memory I have of that night for some reason is this, we smoked something, and then I woke up.
There were some times that we, yeah, dude. I can't, dude. Like talking about this stuff, like I can't believe Mom let you stay with me at that age. I really can't.
Well, does she know it's going to be that wild? Probably not,
dude.
You sure?
If she compared anything to what I did growing up to that point already, which I was, she had to have known. I mean, dude, I was in trouble all the time. For going out.
Well, see, that's where I guess I got lucky because, like, when they moved to Texas, I think Mom kind of felt bad. So, dude, I had like no rules in Texas.
That's what's up.
Those are like some of the only times I think I could knowingly get hammered and go home and not really give a fuck what would happen. Because there's some folks that live down the street that were from Manteca. I think they're from California. And I got hammered there a couple times. And I'd just walk home or up the hill. I'd walk up the hill and then just go straight to my room or something. Like, it was like whatever. Or Mom would give me like a fucking bowl. I woke up to a couple of times with bowls next to my bed because Mom knew I was hammered.
You were throwing up or whatever.
Yeah.
Or just in case you threw up.
Yeah, just in case. I think there were some oh shit ones just in case. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I kind of got away with.
Mom's been around.
Yeah. And then shout out to all the people in Texas if they ever listen to this, because they party totally different too. The first party I ever went to, like in California, I feel like everybody in your like that you hang out with, everybody's like sneaking out. Like you're all like secretive about going to places and shit.
Right.
In Texas, the first party I went to, this guy Steve, I think I rode with this kid Steve. I think that was his name. We were driving his truck. We get there. There's a mom outside with a fishbowl collecting keys. And she's like,
"You told me about that. That's right. You told me about that. Yeah.
Oh no, Megan heard about this story because she went there for like her freshman year. But the mom was like, "Oh, you know, the fucking liquor or beer or whatever is by the fire, or there's liquor in the house." I can't remember. But damn, dude, there's just beer everywhere, and parents don't give a fuck. They're just like, drink up.
It makes it a little bit safer too. Honestly, like it's gonna happen. It's going to happen, period. Like, it's going to happen. Like, so for instance, like the same scenario out here, like when I was growing up at that same age, right? So say at that same age, you know, freshman, sophomore, high school, or whatever like that, we'd go to the house parties and you know, we'd get tore up, you know, whatever the case is, you know, and every time that you'd go to a house party out here, it's because the parents were out of town or something like that. There's never any parents there, you know?
Yeah.
But then when the cops would show up, because they would show up at one point or another, guaranteed, it wasn't okay, shut it down, be quiet, stay at home. It was everybody get out of here. And it's like, okay, so I can sleep here, but you're not gonna let me sleep here. You're making me go out and drive. Like it's a total different thing. Like, you know, thinking about it, super dangerous. Like it's just like they were more worried about shutting down the party as opposed to what they were doing, which was putting 50, 60 drunk teenagers out on the road, you know, which
like newly licensed teenagers.
Newly licensed, man. Oh, okay. So I'll tell you one story, because I know I keep telling you that I have a lot of stories that I you know, I'll tell at one point, but I have one story that I'll tell you real quick, and then I'll probably head out pretty soon. But so we were partying, gosh, I don't know where, but you know, somewhere here in Modesto, and we got pretty tore up, and we were still living on the south side at the time. So, you know, still in high school. You know, I don't remember what stage of high school I was in. I might have been a senior. Actually, no, I had to have been a junior or younger, because we didn't move out to Houston until I was 18. And we got on, you know, 99. I mean, I was like I'm not saying it's it's good or anything like that. You make stupid decisions when you're young. You make stupid decisions. Hopefully, you learn from them and you grow from it, which I thankfully did. I had the opportunity to. A lot of people don't have that opportunity, but I did. So, anyways, we get off on Crow's Landing exit, and you know how Crow's Landing exit is. It's just one loop, and then you just go straight down Crow's Landing to where our house was or whatever. And so as we're driving down the freeway, I have one of my friends in the car, and I forget homeboy's name, and he was like a year younger than me or 2 years younger than me, and he was wasted, like wasted. You know what I mean? Like there's wasted and there's wasted, and he was wasted. Like he was whereas we're driving down the freeway, he's like, dude, so I feel like we're in the Back to the Future car, like we're going back in the future right now. And so, anyways, that's just to show how faded he was. So we got off the off ramp, and right when we got off, all you see is lights, cop lights,
shit,
siren. It's a checkpoint right there, and I was just like, "Fuck!" I never told you about this, right?
I think you told me about this last time I was up there. But yeah, if it's a story, I think it is hella fucking crazy though. It's lucky as hell.
Okay, so if this is the one, then if you're saying lucky as hell, it was very lucky. So I turned to my friend Adrian was his name, and I turned to him, I go, hey, we're going in tonight, like we're getting locked up, like it's as simple as that. Like honestly, like it's like there's no getting out of it. Like I'm done. So we pull up to the checkpoint. I roll my window down, and I'm just looking straight ahead. I'm not even looking at who's there. I know it's a cop, obviously. So
yeah,
I roll down my window, and all I hear is Birmley. And I turn and I look, what the fuck? And I look, and he's like, Birmley. It was my fucking Pop Warner football coach. He was almost all of them were CHP officers, and so he goes, hey, how's the family? How's your dad and everything? I'm like, oh, everyone's good. And he goes, all right, well, be careful out there tonight. He said, there's a lot of drunk drivers out there tonight.
Wink, wink type.
Yeah, exactly. I think he knew. And I said, all right. Thanks, coach. I appreciate that. I know. We're just on our way home, coach. I appreciate it. You have a good night. You let me go, dude. And you think about stuff like that, right? And like I said, it's not a good thing, but thankfully I learned from it. But a lot of people don't even get the opportunity to learn from that experience. A lot of people just kind of at that moment, that's the end right there. And that can change your life drastically for the rest of your life. At that moment. It's crazy to think about that kind of stuff. Like, really crazy.
I mean, I had my close one with my friend Tyler. I won't say a whole story, but I was around my friend my best friend Trey's Jeep, because he was fucking in an emergency room. We got hammered. This is the same day I got the tattoo on my ass. So this has been a long day.
Oh yeah, that's a long day. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Yeah.
Nally can attest to it. Like, dude, I think we were completely shit faced by like 11 in the morning. But
that's a party right there.
Yeah.
That's a party. It was the first 11 o'clock. That's awesome.
First game of the season, because of the bet I had made with the Saints and Vikings the year before. But yeah, so Tyler and I, first we stopped because we drove from somewhere. Oh man, where was that place in San Diego? Can't remember the name of the town, but we drove back to base in Coronado. So it's like a fucking 40-minute drive, maybe. Get back there. Ambulance ends up taking Trey to Balboa Park, which is like, or Balboa Hospital, which is like another 30 minutes opposite way, like we just came. So I'm driving his Jeep now. This is later in the day. It's probably like 5 or 6. It's dark outside. So I'm like, oh fuck.
Dude, that's crazy. 11 o'clock. It's like, it's barely getting dark. We're starting to sober up.
Yeah. Well, dude, it was literally like 11 in the morning when Nally picked us up, and we were hammered. Like, I don't know what time we started drinking. We must have started like at 7 or 8 in the morning. Like, we started early, and we had like a gap where we didn't drink, but we're still, I mean, my friend Tyler got his tongue pierced. My friend Trey got his tongue pierced. I got my ass tattooed. So it's been a long fucking day, And then, so Tyler and I were like, all right, we're on Coronado where the base is. We're like, let's go get like some fucking food. We're hungry and thirsty. We're fucking dying. Hungover. We're like, it's like one of those weird things where you're like midday hungover, or like because you've been up,
right. Yeah.
So then we were driving. I missed, and the way Coronado is, there's one way or two ways off, but the main way is like the Coronado Bridge. So I'm like fucking stopping at like every light to see. It's dark. I can't see. There's no lights. I'm like, where the fuck's the bridge? And I stop at a green light. The cop pulls us over though. I'm like, oh shit. He's like, flashing the lights in my face. My friend Tyler's can't even eat a sandwich because his tongue's pierced. So he's fucking, he's dying over there. We got Gatorades. Also, like just all the shit you do when you're drunk. You got fucking basically bread and Gatorades, electrolytes and shit.
Yep.
And the cop's like flashing his light in my eyes. He's like, hey, when's the last time you drank? I was like, to be honest, we drank a lot earlier. I was straight up we drank a lot this morning.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck it. If I'm going to get arrested, and we're in the military, so it's a little, when you get a DUI in the Navy or military, it's a little bit harsher because you get like double jeopardy. You get punished by the local government or police stations or whatever, and then the military. So you get fucked. So I'm like kind of freaking out. And I even told him, I was like, oh, this isn't my Jeep. This is my best friend's Jeep. And he's in an ambulance going to fucking Balboa Hospital. He's not feeling good. And the cop is like, okay, he does the whole thing. He's like, all right, just be safe. He's like, I saw you stop at a green light. And I was just kind of concerned. I was like, well, I couldn't tell if this was the street I needed to turn down to get to the bridge. But anyways, I'm like, oh, fuck. He's like, all right, kind of the same thing you said your coach did. He's like, be safe. Have a good night. I remember looking at time. I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. Like sweating bricks. And I put the Jeep in neutral. I'm just like drifting backwards. I'm like, oh, fuck. Literally shit my bricks. Literally, fucking panic mode set in because I'm like, dude, if I hit a cop car,
oh my god,
that's jail, dude. You're going to jail. Like, book it. But luckily, we didn't get in trouble. But that was like my closest DUI encounter. And like you said, you feel lucky when you get out of those situations because, man, if you would have breathalyzed me, I know I would have failed. There's no way. There's no way I was sober.
There's no doubt. I feel like honestly, like after one beer, if I got breathalyzed, I would probably get like I don't whatever. But I feel fine off of one. But you can feel a buzz sometimes, and it's just like, damn.
Yeah. Well, like I don't drink any more these days. So when I do, like even like 2 beers, kind of gets me feeling pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all you need, anyways.
Yeah.
There's no point in getting drunk anymore. All it does is make the next day longer and harder.
Yeah, I don't rebound the same.
No, dude. I remember pulling all nighters, going stuff like that, and then going to work.
Yeah. Well, that's what we did. Tyler and I ended up going to work, and Trey showed up, and they let him go early. And we were like, fuck, we've been up all day. We went to the hospital, and we have to work all day. We don't get to leave early. Like some bullshit.
It makes you tired even thinking about it. Like at this age. Like it's just...
I got to get Tyler on here one day, Tyler and Trey, because, man, I just think it's some of their fucking stories.
We should have a storytelling day because like I said, I have a lot. I'm not gonna tell like all of them.
Yeah,
some of them are gonna be in my death memoir or something like that because they're a little too much sometimes. But you just got to be grateful for making it to this point. And like I said, it can happen to anybody. It can happen at any time to anybody, and it could just be one little mistake that could change your life forever. And sometimes you just get the luck of the draw and some others don't, but if you don't learn from it, then you're going to be in that point where you don't get that luck of the draw again.
Shit, no, we've almost had that same thing of a DUI situation. I don't think Dad would have got in trouble for this, but the day I graduated high school.
Oh, when we all went out and drank?
Yeah.
But Dad can't hold his liquor, though, so I thought he was going to get arrested, bro. I honestly did. Because I remember when that cop pulled us over. So, like, because that cop was already had somebody else pulled over.
Yeah. It was like you get off the freeway.
Yeah, he already had somebody else pulled over. So Dad definitely stopped at that stop sign. I know that for a fact. I know that for an absolute fact. And that was the reason they said that they pulled him over, which was bullshit to me. That was fucking bullshit. And I was already buzzed because I had one of them big motherfuckers, and I was sitting in the back. And I remember that shit? Remember that shit? The cop comes up. He goes, "You guys had anything to drink?" And he looks at me. He's like, "You had anything to drink?" I said, "Yeah, man. I had one of those big motherfuckers, like that big." That's
the best part of the whole story, though. Like how honest you are. You're in the back seat. You're like, you even do. Yeah, you did the whole thing. You're like,
yeah. I was so like,
big
okay, motherfuckers.
He's like, okay, fuck that guy. Then he asked me and Dad. It's like he just said, "Screw the guy in the back seat. That guy's gonna piss me off."
It's like, yeah, motherfucker. I had a beer. What the fuck? Like, what the fuck you asking me for? Shit. I had a big motherfucker too. Shit.
Just grinning from ear to ear and shit.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's funny. Honestly gets you a lot of ways. Like, I mean, they even made Dad walk that night. I remember that. They made him do the walk and everything. I was surprised he passed it because he definitely, you know, has a lighter tolerance for it.
Well, even now. But, yeah. Forever.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's ever been a tolerance that he's had. I don't think he had the experiences that we had sometimes growing up.
Well, like Mexicans can usually drink, you know.
Usually. But
and
you have to have practice, just like everything. You have to practice, man.
Well, he's a cowboy too. You think?
Oh shit, he's a fucking cowboy. Yeah, he's a fucking cowboy.
You would think you could do both. You think you'd be able to hang? You're Hispanic and you're riding horses. You should be able to hang. I'm gonna tell Dad this next time I talk to him. Be like, Dad, how come you can't hang? You know, you're a cow. I always give him a shit because of that too. Like I always tell him, "No, the song."
But you have to also remember too. He just found out he's Mexican. Before that, he wasn't Mexican. Remember?
True.
He spoke Spanish, but he was Spanish.
He was Spanish from Spain.
He was Spanish from Spain. Remember that? And we always said, "Motherfucker, you're Mexican." Like we know you're Mexican. Like it's not like what the fuck are you talking about?
Like you look Mexican.
And the Spanish you speak isn't Spain Spanish. There is a slight difference. You speak fucking Spanish, homeboy. Like,
theirs is like more what do they call it? Like the romantic language of Spanish.
Right.
Yours is like
more of like a Latin. It still has that Latin not Latin. You know,
but it has. It has it's like sophisticated and
yes.
And
it's like England's English versus our English.
Yeah,
like
it's like what you're speaking now.
You could say I want to go stab somebody in England English, and it sounds like they're writing a poem. You know, us, you know, you say I want to go down the street and stab somebody or something stupid like that. It sounds like damn, Jeffrey Dahmer over there. You know,
it's like, dude, the Spanish you're speaking's like fucking selling tacos from a taco truck.
It's Mexico. Bro. It's Mexican Spanish. Like it was Mexican Spanish. As simple as that. Like so you have to remember he's a new cowboy, and he hasn't been a Mexican that long.
No, so I always tell Dad. I tell him like at least once. I tell him, I'm sure I do this every time I go up there. I tell him, I always say, you know what song is perfect for you? That I want to be a cowboy. You know what song? I know that if your dad listens to this, we're not bashing you, but man, I always bring that song up. I'm like, Dad, know what song is you to me is that song? Like, if I were to describe you to somebody that's never met you, has no clue who you are, I'd be like, my dad's Mexican, but this song is perfect for him. I want to be a cowboy. I want to learn how to rope and ride. Like, damn, that is. Tell me that's not him.
Isn't that Lil Nas guy?
Who? No, it's an old country song. This one's like from the 90s.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
I don't have to pull it up. I'm not gonna pull it up right now, but I'll find the video and I'll send it to you. I haven't seen the video. I'm sure it's corny as hell, but I always remember.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, no, it's man, yeah. Man, we could go on like forever just talk about stupid stories because there's a lot.
How many thinking about dad when we went to Minnesota? He couldn't hang, but he rebounded hella quick.
Bro.
He threw up at the bar, but
he threw up on the floor of the fucking bar, dude. And then try to act like nobody fucking saw that shit. Like he fucking literally just, and each one of them shots. So it's funny, both of you motherfuckers, you got cut off.
I got wild.
You got cut off. And I remember I was just like, what the fuck? I was like, I'm more fucked up than him. And I was like looking around, I was like, what? And the bartender's like, do you want to take both of them? I was like, fuck. Like, no, because he wouldn't give you your shot, remember? And you were just like, but I paid for both of them. I paid for both of them. I want my money back, at least for my shot. And I'm just sitting there like, fuck, all right.
Oh, shit.
That was a fun trip too, man. That was a fun trip.
That was all in one day.
Yeah, that was a long day.
That's a long day.
That was a long day. Now that I remember it, no shit, that was. We went to the Timberwolves game. That was the same night. Went to the Timberwolves game.
We landed in Minnesota. We went to the fucking. Is that did we do the Viking or the Super Bowl thing the same night?
So
same day?
So that morning we went to the Super Bowl experience thing that they had, and then we went back to the hotel for like an hour or so, and then we're like, okay, we got tickets. That's when we started looking for tickets, I think, and we bought the tickets earlier in the day because we're like, yeah, fuck it, let's go to the Timberwolves game too. So we fucking bought tickets to the Timberwolves game, went to that shit. And that was badass too, by the way.
We got the Juicy Lucy burgers also. I think
I don't think that was the same day, the Juicy Lucy's.
You sure?
There's no way we did all that shit.
I think it was the same day because I think we did Juicy Lucy burgers and then we went to the Timberwolves game that night.
And we got drunk at the Timberwolves game, and then we went to that bar.
And that's where it all went.
That's where we got fucked up. We got fucked up that night because, like, dude, oh fuck yeah! I remember like when we first got there, I went out and had a cigarette, and I think that was the first time I smoked in front of Dad. I smoked a cigarette in front of Dad, and I was just like in that experience, it was just like, fuck it, we're boys here right now. Like this is us. Like. None of this is going out. This is us, you know.
What makes me proud about that because, like, you're talking about how Dad never really did shit like that growing up. He holds on to those stories. Like I'm sure he never told Mom everything that happened.
There's no fucking way, dude. There's no fucking way because
that was like the father and son's fucking.
That was our outbreak right there. That was wild. That was a wild trip, dude. Like we had a lot of fucking fun, dude. Like we were drunk like a lot of the time. You know, we drank a lot. I mean, we even went to the casino and got fucked up at the casino. But I couldn't get fucked up. Remember, because my IDs would expire. So that's the other thing. I was on that whole trip with an expired ID.
I forgot we went to the casino.
Yeah, we went to the casino, had a blast over there too.
You won money off the fucking like Spider-Man game.
Yeah, Spider-Man. Yeah, that's right. Spider-Man. Dude. That's right.
You were fucking killing it on that game. We're like, what the hell? You're like, I can't leave. You kept hitting like the jackpot.
Yeah, fucking Spider-Man. I've never seen that game again, dude. And I've been to a lot of casinos. I've never seen that game again. Like that game, I look for it every time I go somewhere. I'm just like, where's Spider-Man? Where's Spider-Man? Yeah, and then the Uber driver almost wrecked us into the drive-through. He was sliding all over the place. Like, dude, that was just a fun trip. Almost fell through the window of the hotel room because we were drunk. That was the night we came back from that bar or that club. We got the Uber home. Oh, speaking of Uber, I remember that one driver that we had. That girl, I was like, I'm sitting in the front on this.
You're trying. I
was trying hard too. I was shooting my shot. I was just bricking. I was just throwing up bricks.
But she wasn't having it. She was kind of stone cold about it, huh? She was like, flirtatious. She was like flirtatious, but
yes. As soon as you walked into that boundary, though, then it was shut down.
Yeah.
But I was in that boundary the whole time. I didn't give a fuck. I was trying to shoot it the whole time, whether I was getting shut down or not. I didn't give a fuck because
she was. I think she's also the one that told us like because we were sliding everywhere. You know, it's like cars are just like she's like, oh, that's how we drive. That's how we drive in Minnesota. It's like, oh, you just have to step on your brakes like fucking 40 feet before you're supposed to. Like
that shit ain't for me, man. And the hell no.
I like cold weather. I really do, but man,
not driving in snow. I'm not a big fan of it. But I mean, I want to say that they're allowed to have tire spikes out there too, I think.
But it's like it's snow and then it turns into ice because everybody's driving on it, so it gets all mushy and then it like freezes again. So it's like fuck, man.
But the other side of it is out there, like in those areas, they actually treat the roads with salt. You know, like out here and stuff like that, because we just get it, you know, randomly. They don't treat the roads with salt, so that way it's super slippery out here. But out there, at least they have some sort of salt. But I mean, it's still to me, it's still terrifying. Like I'm good. Like that ice road truckers,
we drifted in here before we went like snowboarding. There's a few times where like in the parking lot, there
was a lot of times in that truck that we've been drifting in the snow. I mean, there was a lot of times.
Those snowboarding stories are even better. That's for
dude. Now think about it. There is a lot of episodes that we have to line up here to get all this crap out. But
snowboarding was fun. Those are definitely a different time. But damn, those were some good times.
Snowboarding was fun. We'll have to talk about the Element one day too.
The what?
The Element, the Honda Element.
Oh,
the car you drove around Modesto fucking all damn night while we were getting fucked up. And
driving somebody else's car.
Brand new car too.
With the paper.
You had a permit. It wasn't it wasn't a paper. It was a permit, bro. It was a permit. It wasn't even a paper license yet. It was a straight permit.
Dude, if Tony ever found out, I'm not sure, but I drove that fucking thing all night.
He wouldn't care. He wouldn't care. We got to the bar safe and we got home safe.
Right? You know what's funny? Tony had to give me directions back to your guys' place. I can't remember how to get to the house. Or maybe it's somebody. It might have been either you or Tony, but somebody was like leaning in from the back there. No, you gotta go right, like right here. Go left right here. I'm like, I'm the sober one. I have no clue where the fuck I'm going. Let me rely on these hammered fucking dudes in the back.
Yeah, we're pretty fun. That was the night of the fight too. The brother fight.
Damn, man, I joyride that fucking car. What a shitty car. I'm thinking about Honda Element's kind of lame.
Right? Honda Element. You don't even see him anymore.
Of all the cars he could have had when he worked for Honda Element?
No, he got it for the studio because it was easy to move around the studio equipment to make the studio, like, so we can move the studio equipment, like, say, from location to location and make it like a mobile studio.
And it worked having all you guys in there. I'm pretty sure I picked up like fucking...
Dude, we were deep. Yeah. We just kept piling in that thing like a clown car. Yeah.
And the fucking wagon showed up and I remember I was like, get it.
Good old paddy wagon. Good old paddy wagon. It's like,
I'm fucking shit bricks too. Like, what are they going to do if they come up to me? They're like,
right.
Like, what a fucked situation if a cop were to come up to the window. Let me see your license. Oh, I got a fucking driver's permit.
Well, I was. Yeah. No, honestly though, like I was already ready for that though. I was, sometimes I'm good with really good with words. I was already ready for the cop if that happened. Like, what would you rather have, cop? Me driving, or this young man who has already taken all the courses? He just doesn't have his license yet.
This young man, he'd be like an asshole cop. Would be like, "No, what? You're right. I'm taking you all to jail.
All you motherfuckers get out. Yeah. All you motherfuckers get out."
You be all serious? Yeah, you're right. Fucking. Yeah. He doesn't have a license, and it's from Texas. This permit. It's not even fucking state California permit.
Yeah. Yep.
God, yeah, that was the balls. I even had to just drive that thing. I'm surprised. If I would have got pulled over, I would have been fucked. Thinking about it now.
Yeah, probably just even when we were driving around by yourself. But You didn't.
Yeah, dude. The first stop I went to was McDonald's. I remember going to McDonald's. That was my very first stop. I was like, fuck, I'm going to get me some food.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, man. That was a wild night.
Fuck. Yeah, it was. There's a lot of them. That was a fun time, though. That was a fun time. But, all right, man. I think I'm gonna. Damn, dude.
It's Burns from the Burp Show. Greatly appreciate you for tuning in, watching this podcast, or listening to it via Spotify or YouTube. Please like and subscribe below. Click on the alert button so anytime there's a new episode, you will find out. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. Catch you next time.